What's going on, people? This is Shok. Sorry about the brightness behind me. I need to get some proper curtains or something. I just can't nail the lighting in this room. I don't know what it is, but we'll get it together once I actually come back to YouTube. God knows, whenever that'll actually be. I'm not making any promises here, but and I don't intend to come off as pretentious in this video or anything like that. But almost everybody I have seen has the wrong idea about the Switch, and that's on both sides. That's on both the, what we like to refer to as the Nintendo haters, the people that will pretty much rag on it just because it's Nintendo, regardless of the differences or regardless of what facts may be present, anything like that. And that's also the Nintendo diehards who are celebrating like they won a war or something, or like the system is going to be the next coming of Christ. And I just can't believe that we have these extremes here on both sides, just being so naive and blind to the actual facts, or rather, more accurately, the opposite, the lack of facts. And see, that's the thing, because both sides are making such strong, definitive, like they just know in their heart, statements, when we still don't know crap about this console. Guys, yeah, we got those general rumors confirmed, right? Yeah, okay, it's a system that we could take on the go. It's essentially a console in a handheld form. It's a handheld console, basically. But that's not it. That's not the only bit of information Nintendo has to share about that console. And I guess I'll start off with the negative extreme. I'll start with that side because they're acting as if this is the only thing that the system is going to offer. No, it's the main draw. Yeah, but you guys think that that's it about the system? 3 minutes is all it takes to talk about everything the system can do, what it's going to be about, what it's going to support, things like that. No, people. No, that's going to be the main marketing tool that they use. And also, another thing I want to tell these people is that the word gimmick, for some reason, gamers have given a negative connotation, when the word gimmick is a neutral word, people. All a gimmick is something that a company uses as a selling point or a marketing point of their product. And that's all a gimmick is. So when you guys say, the Switch is gimmicky because you could take it on the go, it's a handheld and the controller slide off, whatever, you're not saying anything. Gimmick is not a bad word. Now, there's bad gimmicks, yeah. But there's also good gimmicks. So can we stop using the whole gimmick thing? Because it's just kind of auto argument people go to. Oh, it's not completely traditional, so gimmick bad. That's not what that means. For instance, people, the PS4 Pro's 4K upscaling capability. Guess what? That is a gimmick. Whether you realize that or not, that is a gimmick. But like I said, the gaming industry, gamers in general, over the years, they've just warped this word into an automatic negative connotation for some reason, without realizing that almost literally anything can be a gimmick when it comes to a product. It could be a camera on a phone, right? It could be a certain resolution. It could be an online feature. All these things can be gimmicks, people. So by saying it's gimmicky or that's a gimmick, there goes my lighting, you're not making an actual point. So I just want to put that out there for you guys who just keep using this buzzword, because that's what it is. Gimmick is just a buzzword. It's a lazy buzzword that people use because they're too lazy to give an actual compelling, competent, intelligent argument. That's really all it is. It looks different from usual gimmick. Automatic dismiss. I said the word gimmick, it's dismissed. It's discredited, right? No. No, people, no. Another thing, I saw in a lot of people's reveal videos, people pointing out the little two side controllers things, and they're like, that's dumb. Who's gonna play with those things sideways? Like when the guys at the basketball court and they were playing 2K17 or whatever, and they playing with the little controller sideways. Why are we complaining about things that are obviously completely optional? I saw tons of people nitpicking the reveal trailer apart. Guys, that's not saying this is how you have to play it, right? And they even show multiple times in the trailer that you can use a pro controller in the first place. So, no, of course, you don't have to do that. So, I don't know why people are trying to, dock off points, so to speak. for things that they're not going to have to use, guys. That's just a cherry on top thing. Let's not focus on that. The main focus of the system isn't, oh, unhook the controllers and use it sideways. That's not the main hook. The main hook is the portability itself in general. The whole side controller things, really, that's just something for the casual gamers who are going to be playing, kind of lighter games that are easier supported by something that you can only play with, 4 buttons. You see what I mean? Something like that. It's not anything that's mandatory. I'm sure Nintendo's not trying to make that a huge selling point or whatever. They're just saying, hey, by the way, this is something you can do with it. So let's not try to focus on something that's not a main selling point in the first place and is not a mandatory forced upon you type of thing like, the Wii U gamepad was, which was forced upon you on certain games. Of course, a lot of games supported the Pro Controller, but some didn't, right? And that kind of segues into my next point with these people who are automatically dissing the Switch. This is the most traditional console Nintendo has had since the GameCube, if you think about it, people. Because again, going back to the whole gimmick buzzword that you guys like to use, I don't really see how this system is that gimmicky. I mean, sure, the whole detachable controls use sideways thing is kind of, kind of weird and, quirky or whatever. But considering the fact that, again, it is completely optional, you don't have to do that. You don't have to take the sides of the controller off at all. You don't even have to bring the sides of the Switch with you. You can leave the sides at home, bring the goddamn screen in a Pro Controller. You're right? But, I mean, outside of that, there's really nothing really gimmicky going on here, people. You guys call the Wii U gimmicky. Why? Because of the gamepad and the whole second screen thing, right? And, of course, the Wii was gimmicky because of the Wii Remote, which I thought was actually great. I love the Wii Remote, at least for first-person shooters and certain other genres. I thought it was great for it. But outside of the whole side controller thing, little detachability, whatever, if you guys pay attention, stop, firing off your, preloaded messages, your preloaded automated responses to anything Nintendo, right? You'd realize that this system is fairly traditional for, at least for Nintendo standards, right? Because you're controlling the games standardly. You see what I mean? There's no weird, gimmicky motion control, second screen bullshit going on. You see what I'm saying? All of these games are going to be made with standard controls in mind. The standard control scheme for the standard regular controllers is going to be the default for the system, just like this. Now, I know some of you guys may be thinking you haven't been informed yet, but since the system is a controller itself, isn't there going to be some second screen stuff going on? No, Nintendo themselves actually confirmed that there is not going to be any secondary screen functionality on the system at all. So while the system itself has a screen on it, that's not them trying to replicate the whole asymmetrical gameplay two-screen thing that the Wii U was doing. So this system is a one-screen experience. No motion controls. Well, the side things might have motion controls, but again, that's something that's going to be optional or whatever, right? And of course, since every game, supposedly or whatever, I'm assuming, is going to be it should be able to be played portably on the go. I'm sure no developer is going to make or Nintendo themselves is going to make a motion control based game, right? When they know that you're going to want to take this game and play with you on the go. And of course, you're not going to always be in a situation, a comfortable position, whatever, where you could be doing motion control stuff on the go, right? You see what I'm saying? Think, use your brain. This is a very standard traditional console in the control sense. Yes, I understand the whole portability, the console is a tablet type thing going on, but just let's be real here, guys. The whole thing you guys had about the Wii U and the Wii were the control schemes for the actual games. With the Switch, you'll be playing your games in a standard, traditional way. So the system is not that gimmicky as you guys are making it out to be. Last point I want to bring up to people automatically discrediting the system. And of course, this is a fear I've had too. Don't get me wrong. I brought this up myself. But I did some more thinking about it, and I did some more looking into it, and I'm going to say this as well. I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but the system is not going to be as weak as everyone makes it is thinking it's going to be. And that's not me, overestimating the system's power, because really I think most people are underestimating. Well, I don't think, I know. Because here's the thing. People assume because it is a mobile system, then that means it's going to be automatic weak sauce. Now, it could be. Who knows? But, guys, this is 2016. This is not 2006. Mobile technology has come a very, very long way. We're in the day and age where something being in a mobile form factor no longer means that it's weak as crap. You see what I'm saying? Because mobile technology has come a long way. Mobile technology is fairly powerful now. If you do your research and look it up, mobile technology has made huge strides. If you see the power some of these laptops are packing now, and some of these tablets and stuff like that, these mobile processors are pretty amazing. And another fun point a lot of people forget and don't realize is, right, they bash the Switch like, oh, this thing is going to be a mobile system. It's weak guaranteed because it's going to be using mobile processors, right? Without realizing that the PS4 and the Xbox One use mobile processors themselves, right? They have mobile CPUs. Or is it the GPUs? I can't remember. One of them, I'm pretty sure it's the CPUs. There's actual mobile components in the PS4 and the Xbox One. A lot of people forget about that. A lot of people don't realize that. So, because something is going to be in a mobile form factor, that does mean it'll be weaker than it could have possibly been if it was a traditional big box. Yes, that is true. I'm not disputing that. With the same price point, the same cost it takes to make the system, they could have made it, stronger if they had a bigger system, because when you have a bigger system, you have, more space so the chips could be bigger so they can, fit more on them. Bigger space means that it could dissipate more heat so you can have it run faster, things like that. So it does mean that there'll probably be lower clock speeds in this thing since it's small, whatever. But not by any means, not by any means does a small form factor mean that it's not going to be competent. I'm not saying extremely powerful, bleeding edge. I'm just saying competent enough to get at least a good portion of the third-party support. It is possible. It just depends on how much Nintendo is willing to pay for these parts, the deals they got, with NVIDIA for this Tegra chip or whatever. And a lot of people are going to the Tegra 1 chip and they're saying like, oh, this thing is weak, although we don't know which one that they're using. NVIDIA did say that it was a customized chip. I believe the X2 just came out. I believe so. And they even have a third mobile chip that's pretty much the X3. They don't call it the X3, but that's essentially what it is. They have that in development as well. So even if it is an X1, I'm sure that since they just released, or they're about to release the X2, and they're also working on a third one, I'm sure they would incorporate some of the modern factors, of those designs a little bit into this custom design if it was based on the X1 in the first place. You see what I mean? But if I remember correctly, I think an X1 and an X2 are both around like 1 teraflops of performance or whatever like that. And yeah, that's low compared to what a 2016 console should be. But that's not surprising given the form factor of the system. But what people don't realize is that that's still not terribly too far off from what the PS4 and the Xbox One offer, because the PS4 was like, let me pull it up here actually. Make sure I get this right. Yeah, 1.84 is what I'm seeing here from the PS4 teraflops. So, given let's say it was based off of X1, but it was kind of a little bit beefier than the X1 because the X1 is an old chip, so Nintendo could get that for really cheap. So they have some extra headroom to improve it, make it a little bit more powerful or efficient, and then NVIDIA probably incorporated some more efficiency techniques or more modern architecture to put in there or whatever. That's not too far off. Yeah, that's a 0.84 teraflop difference, but as long as the architecture isn't hard to develop for, that's perfectly scalable for ports. Perfectly scalable. Now, that's assuming that the Switch's GPU performance is going to be, exactly or ballpark what NVIDIA has listed as their X1 or X2 performances. Maybe it could be less. Who knows? Because Nintendo they might have wanted the clock speeds clocked down or something like that. They might have wanted to generate less heat. But saying that it's going to be weak if it is based off the X1 or X2, generally speaking, a 2016 console, yeah, of course that's weak. But if you take into the form factor and then you compare it to the actual T-flop performance of the PS4. And what's the Xbox One's? Actually, let's see that. I think the Xbox One's like 1.4 or something like that. Yeah, the Xbox One's graphics card has a 1.31 teraflop performance. So this system could actually be around the Xbox One level of performance. So as long as the architecture is there, this system could be competent enough, to give you some pretty good visuals on your TV. Definitely more than enough to give you some great visuals on a small, 6-inch screen or whatever. But this system could very well be competent. Now, like I said, it depends on if Nintendo is scaling the hardware down a little bit. But they also have the option to scale it up because those chips are extra cheap these days. The X1s and whatever, right? Because they're fairly old. I think they're 2012 chips or 2014. I'm not sure. I think it was 2012. But fairly old based off what I remember. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to say with people automatically discrediting. Now, this isn't me defending, the Switch or anything like that. That's not what this is about. This is about me trying to take both sides and actually provide level-headedness because both sides are acting like complete and total idiotic fools, right? Also, by the way, if you guys are calling it gimmicky and you bought PSVR, kill yourself. But anyways, going on to the Nintendo fans now. God, oh God, guys, calm the hell down. Stockholm Syndrome. Insanity. When you keep doing the same thing over and over again and you expect a different outcome. Now, like I said, I'm not saying, don't get hyped because it is going to be bad. I'm telling both sides, let's not speak in absolutes and let's not get hyped in a negative way and let's not get hyped in a positive way because we still really don't know much about the system if you think about it. We don't. But I saw tons of the Nintendo diehards, on Twitter talking about, yes, this is it. Nintendo's back, baby. I even saw a tweet that I'm not making this up. You know how people like to say, oh, I saw people saying this and know damn well they never saw that anywhere. I'm not doing that. I saw real tweets where some Nintendo fans here in this community, some that do videos, y'all might know who I'm talking about. Talking about Nintendo's back, baby. Nintendo's on top. Nintendo's the king. I saw people talk about nobody cares about PlayStation and Xbox anymore. The Switch is here. It's a wrap. That was a real tweet that I saw. Are you people serious? This thing is not... Sony is sitting on cloud 9 right now, right? The PS4 is a tremendous success. They have all momentum. Nintendo and Microsoft didn't stand a chance this gen. This was probably the first gen where we really didn't have a console war. No competition. Sony blew out the water since day one. And they've consistently been blowing out the water and staying on top while winning. They still push and try harder. Except for PlayStation Plus. Anyways. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, guys, calm down, Nintendo fans. We've been through this before. After everything that happened with the Wii U, how could you guys possibly allow yourselves to get so optimistic and so hyped? Not to be pessimistic or a downer, I'm just saying, let's be cautious here. Because a lot of Nintendo fans are doing exactly what we did with the Wii U. Oh my God, this is it. We're finally getting a powerful system. We're going to have the third-party support back. The list looked promising, people, but the list also looked promising during the Wii U era. People were talking about we got the third party back, baby. All this stuff. It's just like it's like they have ammonia. Like, I don't understand. Short-term memory loss. It's like they don't realize what just happened the last 4 years with the Nintendo console we just had, guys. Calm down. Wait a second. Now, if we're in the second and third year of the Switch's release and third-party support's rolling in, then you can say that. Then you can say, oh yeah, okay, Nintendo's back, we got the third-party support. If we're in the third year and it's still getting the majority of third-party support, we're good. Until that happens, don't celebrate just yet. I don't see how you guys can be so blindly optimistic. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And this isn't going to dent the Xbox One. It's not going to dent the PS4, people. Those two brand names are much stronger than the Nintendo brand name right now. At least in the console market. Of course, Nintendo's always been strong in the handheld market. But honestly, even recently, the 3DS has been a lot weaker than the DS was comparatively. And I think even a couple of other of the previous handheld systems. I got to go back and look at that data. I saw an article about that the other day. But yeah, man, Nintendo fans, y'all, calm the hell down. Like I said in my video, I like the idea. But when I said in the video, I like the idea of the Switch. I like it a lot. I think it's cool. That's not me saying, oh, this is it. Nintendo's in there. They in there. They got this. It's over. This thing is gonna sell tons. No, I said I like the idea, and I think the system has a high ceiling of potential. That's what I said in my video. And honestly, that's where we should all be. Not because that's what I think, not because that's what I feel, but because that is the safest and most realistic way of approaching this situation. This is Nintendo. They are the most volatile company in the industry. Therefore, it's stupid, again, for both extremities to exist in such a degree, in such a manner, right? Where people are like, oh, it's Nintendo, so it's going to fail, automatic default. Then you got Nintendo fans like, oh, it's Nintendo, so it's going to be the greatest thing. I don't care if they just slapped me in the face yesterday. I forgot about that. They won't do that again. They won't do that again. They won't do that again. Insanity, right? It's like Nintendo fans never freaking learn. This thing could be a colossal failure for all we know. It could get third-party support in the first year or two, just like the Wii U did, and then flatline. The third-party developers jump ship. We dipping. We out of there, right? Who knows? So Nintendo dudes, calm the hell down. You can be excited for the system. I'm not saying that. If you just want a Nintendo system that plays Nintendo games, by all means be excited. I get that completely. People buy Nintendo systems for Nintendo games, pretty much. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about everyone saying that, this is a new era for Nintendo. They've turned a new leaf. They're going to have the third-party support. We're going to have great online. I'm talking about all the people saying that. We don't know that yet. We have no freaking idea. We don't have any details about the system outside of the physicality of it, right? Pretty much, which we already knew because of all the rumors and leaks and all that stuff. But Nintendo's going to have this reveal on January 12th. God, it's so stupid. They had the whole world talking about this system when they released that YouTube video. It was the #1 trending video on YouTube. It was trending on Facebook. It was trending on Twitter. All these sites, New York Times, all these tech sites, stuff like that, were talking about it. And Nintendo just decides to just shut up again. This system was announced, spring of last year? And Nintendo set the record for longest time a system has been announced with no official information given. They set a record for that in the history of game systems. And then after over a year and a half, they give us 3 minutes and shut up again. Nintendo, you make no sense. I know I'm getting off into something else, but God. And they wonder why they struggle. It's because they make such odd, questionable decisions, such like this. And this is, it kind of ties in. This is what I mean. Like, guys, Nintendo is still, they're still Nintendo. They're still retarded at times. They still do very questionable, weird things that arguably end up hurting them. So let's not be all gung-ho for this system. It's going to be a huge success and all this until we realize the direction Nintendo's going in, till we see what mind frame they're in, their mindset, what they're trying to do with this thing, the way they're communicating it. Like I said, I thought they did a pretty good job in the trailer, but we'll see how they do once the system's actually released and the pre-release, advertising and things of that nature. We got to see what's going to happen with that, but Nintendo just looked at it like, everyone's talking about the Switch, guys, this is great. Let's stop talking about it. Like, they had all the momentum in the world, and they just decided to kill it for 2 months until 2017. And then they want to have only 2 months, possibly less, who knows. They only want to have 2 months to advertise it before it comes out. Maybe it could be done. I don't know. But like I said, I didn't think 6 to 5 months was really enough for Nintendo specifically. You could do that if you're Sony because the PlayStation brand's already known. You could do that for Xbox because the PlayStation brand is already known, and both those brands are strong, still going strong. They haven't killed their reputation. Microsoft just a little bit, yeah, but they haven't killed their reputation like Nintendo has. They haven't lost their brand name power like Nintendo has. But 2 months, man. They want to give themselves 2 months to advertise this system, and that's just insane to me. But yeah, basically, everyone auto-dooming, I'll call it that, auto-dooming the system. I don't think there's really anything Nintendo can do at this point to ever make you guys, just wait and see. I'm not even telling you guys to necessarily, I'm not saying be on board with the system, be excited. I'm not, of course not. Why would I say that? I could understand why it may not appeal to some people. All I'm saying is we don't know shit. And that fact applies for both sides in the exact same ways. Don't be so gung-ho because we don't know shit. Don't be so negative because we don't know shit. Let's wait for at least for the January 12th reveal. Then let's give we can start making our more, kind of definitive statements. You see what I mean? And stuff like that. But people are just on both sides. I know for a fact it's going to do this. I know for a fact it's going to do that. Just woo! And the other guys, boo, on both sides. It's just like, and I'm sitting here in the middle like, we still don't know. Like, what are y'all doing? We still don't know anything. It doesn't make sense to me. But I've rambled on long enough, guys. That's for this video. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll see y'all later.